Hello, everyone. Let's see. Hey, it still works. Let's see. I haven't done like a regular stream in so long. Let's see if we can get this started. How is everyone doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Wednesday. Thank you all for dropping in.
Hello there.
And hey, it works. Okay, it's good to know that nothing is broken. Oh, I don't think I'm logged in though. Let's see. Gotta reauthorize all of my Streamlabs stuff. Okay, that's one. Gotta do one more for Halbot. Hello, Sparta. Is this game open or doing exploring for the last 15 minutes? Are you talking about Doom? I honestly don't know. I don't know a lot about Doom, the Dark Ages. I've kind of intentionally stayed away from looking into it too much. I've only seen the trailers, and like that's it. I've only seen the trailers once, basically, when they were first revealed, and I haven't seen anything else on it because I wanted to go in as blind as possible. This is so annoying. I gotta log out of Twitch, log in with my bots. Now I gotta get two-factor authentication. Hold on. Where are you? Google Authenticator. Sorry, this will take just 2 minutes. Okay, authorize that. Connect. Now I have to log back out of Twitch. This is so much work. Okay, now I'll log back in with my regular username. Two-factor authentication. What a world we live in. Let's see. Where are you? Twitch. Okay. I think we're all set now. I think I got everything logged in, everything logged out correctly. Everything should be set up. Doing good here. Glad to be past the halfway mark for the week. I'm already ready for the weekends. Nice. I meant the game. I meant is the game open? Because the ones who pre-order standard need to wait till the game releases, which is in 15 minutes. Oh, yes. Yeah, I still have 15 minutes as well. Or 12 minutes and 30 seconds. I figured I would just hop on here and just chat for a bit because I haven't really chatted much. The past, I don't know, what was it, 15 streams I think I did was all Claire Obscure, and that was like no camera, no chatting. We were just down to business playing games, which I loved that game, man. I do not know if there's going to be a game that's going to be able to contend with Claire Obscure as far as game of the year this year. For me personally, sounds like for a lot of other people as well, that game is just fantastic. Not just a great game this year, but one of the greatest games that I've played in a very long time.
Praise the sub.
Hello, Draco. Was really avoiding you for 15 whole streams. I think it was 15 streams, yeah. I streamed a lot, though. Like, those first 5 days, I think I streamed at least once a day. There might have been a couple of times where I streamed 2 times a day. Avoiding spoilers, but same thing. Yeah. I'm glad that you did avoid the spoilers because I can't wait for you to play it, Draco. It is so good. Man. It was a great game. Yeah. It's just such a fascinating story, too. I mean, I'm not talking about the story of the game. The story is fascinating and wonderful, but it's such a fascinating story for just like the games industry. I watched a little mini documentary today about it. That was like a 18-minute documentary. I posted it in Discord if anybody else is curious about it. Highly recommend it. But it's just so interesting to see how that game formed, or how the studio formed. They started with 2 people, I think, who were working at Ubisoft and were getting their soul drained. And so they, I don't know if they quit right away. I imagine they probably were working on this on the side and then steps down. And then they just like started reaching out to people on Reddit. They found a writer on Reddit. They found the composer on SoundCloud, and they just they started with like a very small team, just like a few people, just started making a prototype for it. And within a couple of years, they had a prototype ready with only just a few people that they started showing and shopping around to publishers. And then it was also kind of perfect, like a perfect storm in a way, because what's their name? Kepler Interactive had just formed. And I was looking more into Kepler Interactive because I remember reading about Kepler Interactive when they formed, and it was kind of a, like, you hear this a lot. It's like, oh, industry veterans have, started their own thing, and that's what Kepler is a bunch of industry veterans, or not a bunch, it's a pretty small operation, but they are specifically a publisher that broke off of the AAA space and started looking for games to publish, and their big thing is like they just want to give full creative control to the teams and just, let them do whatever they want. They're fully independent, although this is where things always I always question things, because it's like to start a publisher like that, you need a lot of money. So there has to be investors somehow, unless just someone is just rich, has millions and millions of, hundreds of millions of dollars, because, they fund these games. And I don't know how much Sandfall Interactive got. Sandfall is the developer of Clair Obscur. But, it had to have been at least, I don't know. I mean, even if it was like, let's say it was 30 people working on it for 4 years, 30 times, what would be an average salary in France for a game developer? Maybe 50,000 euros. That's probably on the low end, I would say. Let's say 50,000. So that's 1.5 million times 4. That's 6 million, right? 6 million. So like that's just payroll, right? And then you have, studio space, a good amount of other expenses. I would say probably at least $10 million in just like overhead. And then on top of that, you have a bunch of other support studio work and also like voice actors, translations, QA. So I feel like, and this is a very low budget, but I still feel like bare minimum to make a game like Clair Obscur, you must have had probably 12 to 15 million dollars. So yeah, that money has to come somewhere, come from somewhere. And again, that's like very low budget. Now, of course, they did get a deal with Microsoft. We don't know what that deal was. Honestly, that could have been a lot of it. Microsoft is rolling. So I could totally see Microsoft shelling out $10 million for a title like Clair Obscur for Game Pass. And, that right there covers 4 years of development. They don't need translators because French people already know how to talk English. Well, yeah, but they have translators for, all the other languages that the game is in. I don't know if they have voice. I don't think they have voice acting in other languages, but they still have subtitles and things like that. And that obviously requires a good amount of work. You have to have at least, there may be some people that are multi-language or multilingual, but you probably have like another 10 people or so on payroll for a few months at least that are working on translations. And then, just like, I don't know, there's a website that I've been looking at recently called Moby Games. I don't know if you guys have ever looked at them. It's literally just a database of video games that shows you all the credits for them. So we can look at Clair Obscur. And we can see, let's see, the credits. So, yeah, they had 412 people working on it. So, the core developer team, of course, was about 30 people. But you still have, this is just insane. Again, this is a relatively small game. But, here's all the voice actors. You have, I don't know, what is that, 15 people there, maybe? Andy Serkis? I'm sure Andy Serkis was not... I can't imagine you would be able to pay Andy Serkis, $50,000 to do something like this. It would have to be a lot of money, I would think. I don't know if... I really have no idea, but I would think it would have to be, hundreds of thousands of dollars at least. Maybe even over $1 million. I really have no idea. But that's a big name, And of course, Jennifer English, Ben Starr, Charlie Cox. Actually, I am seeing multiple people listed, so maybe they did have. Maybe these are... Oh, you know what? I think that they do have a French language, so that's probably what it is. They had English and French for voice. Yeah, production partners. QA porting. Ebb Software did that. That's interesting. That's very interesting, actually. Ebb Software made Scorn. Are they... Huh. I wonder what they're doing now. It's the only game that they've released. Are they hiring? Oh, gross. Oh, maybe they're a part of Kepler Interactive? I don't know. Performance capture. Got 10 people there. Voice production and performance English. Oh, voice production and performance English. Supporting cast. Lead cast. Oh, there's the French people. Music. Orchestra. Publishing. Of course, that's all the people at Kepler. Oh, 1 minute. It's not really 1 minute, though, because it's going to have to decrypt or whatever. Credits, you mean those things you skip at the end of every game? Yeah. I don't even remember what my original point was that I was talking about. I think I was basically just saying that it's a fascinating story, how this game came to be. And I'm very, very happy for them. I hope that more people will... I want to say, boy, I hope more people will do this. The thing is, the reason I kind of hesitate a little bit is I don't think that what Sandfall Interactive did is necessarily easy to replicate. I think that, like, first of all, they just had an incredible idea. They had extremely talented people. There's a lot of extremely talented people out there. But they had just... It's more just like the idea of the game, which there's so many people that have ideas, but there's a lot of people that have ideas, but there's so few people that can take those ideas and hold on to the vision and like be laser focused on what they want this game to be or what they want the project to be, and actually stick with that and follow through with that. That's where so many projects start to fall apart, right? It's like, oh, you have a great idea for a game. Then let's say that you start trying to build a team. In my experience, you find people fairly quickly that are, want to be on board and they seem excited at first. And then you very quickly start running into communication problems and like people are not as enthusiastic as that's where I think it's really impressive that they were able to like put a team together. I mean, it helps that they were able to actually pay them. But yeah, it's still impressive that they were able to put a team together and stay so incredibly focused on the vision for what they wanted that game to be and follow through with it. And it's just, again, like, it's just such a perfect... I think it's like as perfect of a scenario as you could imagine. I think that it's like the perfect size studio. I really think any studio that is over 50 employees, I would say, is really too big in a way that, like, it's hard to really be collaborative at that point. I mean, you can still obviously be collaborative, but it just becomes so much more complicated. You have more people that you have to talk to. You have more meetings that you have to go to. You have more people you have to go through to do things. And so if you have a small team like that, I feel like you can just be like, okay, you're the animator, do it, get it done. You're the environment artist, do it, get it done. Whereas, if you're at a company like, I don't know, Bethesda or something, and you're working on a game with 500 developers, then I don't know this. I mean, obviously we know reality. We know that he works for Bethesda. I very rarely talk to him about that. And even if I did talk to him anything, I wouldn't even say anything that I've heard, even though he's not even told me anything. But like, I just wouldn't want to say anything to, expose him in any way. But I should just honestly use a different studio. But regardless, Bethesda, if you're working there, I'm assuming that it's a lot harder to have as much freedom that you would have on a team of like 20 or 30 people. Whereas, if you are working with 500 people, you're just one small person in a giant sea of developers, and you probably have multiple bosses that you have to run by things to get approval for things. And that slows down the process, I'm sure. Wow, that was really fast. Updated drivers. No. I don't ever update my drivers until things start breaking. I used to update my drivers like all the time. I used to use beta drivers. As soon as there was a new driver, I would download it immediately. But not anymore, because for the past few years, every time I would download a new driver, it would break something. And honestly, more times than not, if I just go with a whatever driver I have, good gracious, that's loud, then the game usually works fine. As long as your drivers are not that old. I think the drivers I have are only like a month old or something. I feel like video games can have more heart with smaller teams that have a similar focus once they have hundreds of people working on them. It's too many cooks in the kitchen kind of thing. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just think about, man, okay, let's use Naughty Dog. I feel like maybe that's a better example. Can you imagine if Naughty Dog split their team of, I don't know how many people they have. I would guess probably around 500 or more. They may have more like 800 to 1,000, but let's say that they have 500 people. Can you imagine if they split their developers into teams of, let's say, 50? That would give you 10 teams. And then just, like, tell them, go out and make your own Clair Obscur. Like, I don't understand why that doesn't happen more. Because I would guarantee that out of those 10 teams, you're going to get at least one, like, really good project. And probably going to get, like, a bunch of really amazing projects. And, like, you would get, 3, 4, 5 amazing projects in the same time that it takes them to make one gigantic game, Maybe even quicker. Okay, let's switch focus to Doom. I am really excited for this. So I was talking a little bit about this. Wait, what am I doing? Barely visible. I was talking a little bit about this when I started. I intentionally have avoided a lot of coverage on this game for a few reasons. First of all, I just like doing that with games, especially if it's a game that I know that I'm going to play. Wow, I have got to turn down the music. I know I'm a weirdo. I love the music, but it's also really hard to think when I'm listening to this music. Ooh, okay. Stay focused. Yeah, so I really have avoided a lot of coverage on this game. I've seen the trailers. I saw the trailers that showed up in like the, just like the showcases, the Xbox showcase and that kind of stuff. And when it was first revealed, I was like, oh, Dark Ages? Like, this doesn't really look like what I would be super interested in, because to me, Doom is like, kind of more science fiction, more heavy action, obviously heavy action, but I didn't really think that it would work well in like a medieval environment. And that's kind of the impression that I got when I first saw it. And I was like, okay, whatever. And, Eternal, I thought was a good game, but I didn't think it was anywhere near as good as Doom 2016. At the same time, Doom 2016 is, in my opinion, one of the greatest first-person shooters of all time at this point. I think that game is unbelievably good. And Doom Eternal tried to do some different things, and for me, it just didn't really pull it off. I didn't really like the emphasis that they put on changing weapons all the time, and the platforming just never really felt that great to me. It's a really hard thing because Doom 2016 is like, they perfected Doom. And so it's like, where do you go from there? Right. And so they didn't quite hit the mark for me with Eternal, but I still really enjoyed Eternal. And so when I saw this one, I was like, I don't know if this is really exciting to me. But then I saw this, I think it was the second trailer. I think I've only seen 2 trailers for this. And I was like, oh, this actually does look really good now. I like what I'm seeing. I think that we actually saw some gameplay in one of the showcases. And I was like, okay, this looks pretty cool, actually. And so, yeah, it does look like it's kind of more medieval type stuff, but it also looks like they're still, pushing things to 11, and you still have like some really cool guns and things like that. It feels like a Far Cry Blood Dragon idea, completely change the setting of a familiar franchise to take a risk and hope it pays off. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. I'm gonna go with a little bit of heavy metal. Let's go with like that. Let's see what else we have here. Aim assist on? What kind of filthy casual do they think I am? Enable controller? If you play Doom with a controller, then you're a masochist. Resolution scaling. I would just like that off, please. I believe this should run pretty well. Huh. Hello, Danny. Welcome. Can we not do like DLA? Oh, there we go. Okay. Motion blur. Gross. Oh, I guess we'll leave it on for the cinematics. Wait, so Ultra Nightmare is good, I guess. We'll go with that. I don't know. I don't know. Is there like I mean, I know this engine is crazy optimized. I would think that this would run really well. But let's turn the let's see. I think I saw performance metrics. What does that do? That just gives me a FPS counter. Okay, that's fine. How are you doing, Danny? Preset from compute. Oh, present from compute. What does that mean? An asynchronous queue. Disable if running into issues. Oh. Interesting. Okay, so I don't know. We'll see if that does anything since I'm using OBS. All right, well, let's check it out. Shall we? Okay, difficulty. I am going to go... I do like playing Doom on harder difficulties, but not my first playthrough. I think we'll go Nightmare. Yeah, this is like one above normal, I think. You can change the game settings. Okay, that's good. Enhanced targeting. I am not new to first-person shooters. Whoa. Oh, this is cool. Look at all these options that we have. Hey, Reality. Welcome. Parry window. Does this game have parries? Have you been playing this, Reality? Tutorials, we'll leave that on. Oh, you haven't? Damage to player. I guess I'll just leave this all on default. It's cool that you can customize this, though. B magnify? Oh, that's kind of cool, I guess. I thought when it said magnify, I thought it was going to bring up like a Windows magnifier or something. All right, let's do it.
I think I can handle this.
Put it on ultra difficult. I do like playing the Doom games on harder difficulty. On Doom 2016, I did the hardest difficulty. On Eternal, I did the hardest difficulty, but not my first playthroughs. First playthroughs, I'm not on normal. I'm above normal. We're like on the one right above normal. You guys let me know how the audio is too. In the Age of Fire and Ruin, when the legions of hell first set upon another came, an outsider, his path to their world carved in blood, for the demons would not escape their world. The Night Sentinels, desperate and broken, saw in him a weapon. Their gods, ever watchful, saw something more. They bestowed upon him strength and mortal flesh, speed. But dang God, I can't read fast enough. Always happens. Please give me a click to continue. Is this what Elder Scrolls 6 is going to look like? Planet of Argent? What? Are we not on Earth? Oh my.
Another fool's errand, witch. You have wasted our time. live here until the heart of Argent is found. It is close.
The Horde will tear this village to pieces, but our time is running out. Soon, the humans will summon him.
King Novi, we found their entry point. It doesn't make sense, sir.
The barrier is still holding, but our scans show that 3 portals were open.
So it's like medieval times, but it's also super sci-fi as well.
Transports. How much time?
Get me the new bishop.
Whoa.
Valen's armored division is still an hour away.
What the heck is this?
The Atlands.
There's no time. Bishop Creed. We need him.
Did you guys hear about the bug in Oblivion? Apparently if you leave it running too long, then you can't reload the game. Like when you try and reload, it just crashes. What in the world?
Fira, this temple must remain guarded.
The village of Kalim is a mining settlement. If it falls, everything will be destroyed.
Oh, thank you, Reality.
Sentinel energy reserves.
Appreciate you banning them.
Launch the Slayer.
They do. I was trying to think who they looked like, and that's true.
Purification targeted for the village of Kalim.
Launch the Slayer. I love how Doom Guy is just like, oh, he's got yellow eyes. Is this the same Doom Guy? Is that my shield? We've got like a fur cape. Oh man.
Launching the Slayer in 3, 2, 1. Release.
I'm gonna wait for the Unreal Engine 6 remaster of Oblivion. Okay, I am not getting good FPS. We're gonna have to lower some stuff. Maybe I do need to update the drivers. Although I really feel like that never does anything. Are there ray tracing options in this game? I'm assuming that's probably hitting things really hard. Drivers can do wonders, though. I know that they can, Reality, but I swear it never does anything for me. I don't think I've ever updated the drivers and just, like, gotten a huge increase in FPS or anything. Now, I have updated drivers and, like, when sometimes things just don't work, and it does make a difference there. Let's see. Probably light quality. Maybe we'll go from Ultra Nightmare to Nightmare. Shadow quality. Volumetrics. Shading. What is directional occlusion? I love in games when you know you want to know what something is, or this is just like in general, right? It's like, what is directional occlusion? Oh, it adjusts the directional occlusion quality. Gee, thanks. Just occlusion in a specific direction? I mean, is it like ambient occlusion? I know what that is. That didn't do nothing. All right, maybe we got to turn... Maybe we can't use DLAA. Let's try quality. That did a little bit. It defaulted to TAA, which is kind of weird. I guess I could try that. Dang. My computer's getting old, guys. I can't even run Doom. I thought this game was supposed to be like super crazy optimized. Oh, that's motion blur. Let's just try Ultra. Dang. Do I really need to update the drivers? Maybe that's it. I guess let's update the drivers. The drivers are not that old. I mean, I know that that doesn't really mean a whole lot. They get 102 FPS in the menu and they complain. I was only getting like 40 or something. I want to at least get 60. Okay. This is probably... I don't know if I can really do this while I'm streaming. The menu was doing 102 FPS. I think it jumped to 102 FPS, but it was really just sitting at around 40 or so. Okay, the stream may die when I do this. Occlusion or ambient occlusion is like the darker areas close, like if you have like a rock close to the ground, it's a little bit darker. The occlusion adds that, or the ambient occlusion adds like that little bit of shading around the edges. I think that I was looking more into this the other day, in Unreal anyway. I'm assuming it's like this for other engines, but meshes have something that's called mesh distance fields, I think. Reality can probably explain this more. And I don't know how they're calculated. I think that they're just calculated automatically. But it's basically like it's a value that is calculated based on the mesh that then allows you to calculate ambient occlusion. I could be way off on that. The what do you call it? What is it called? I'm blanking on the giant 30-foot wall that I was playing with the other day. They were using a RTX 6000, an NVIDIA RTX 6000 to run it, which is a like a studio graphics card. I think it's like a $12,000 graphics card. It's insane. Rendering is definitely black magic to me. I don't freaking know. Come on, Reality. You're supposed to know everything. But yeah, I think the way it works, again, this is for Unreal Engine, because this is what I was looking at, is whenever you import a mesh, the engine does magic, and creates something called mesh distance fields or distance mesh fields. And it's basically just a value that it calculates like the edges essentially, and then it calculates like a value away from that, a distance away from that. And then you can use that value to then apply shading, which is the ambient occlusion.